千里之行，始于足下. A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together. So as usual, our purpose in paraphrasing 20 or any chapter of the Tao Te Ching is to demonstrate complete understanding by expressing the original meaning in our own words. So what did we learn in 20? Chapter 20 started out with an introductory section that talked about knowledge, the pursuit of knowledge, respect, disrespect, perspectives on good and evil, and also the beginning of Lao Tzu talking about how he's a human being just like everyone else, but he thought about the Tao and about life in very different ways. So that's quite a bit to unpack and to paraphrase and interpret into modern vernacular. So here's what I would like to offer in that regard. The more people learn about material things, the more they want. Also, they worry too much about the opinions of others and cannot let go of their attachments to good and evil. I am not different from them physically and must avoid dangers like they do, but other than that, I find that I am very different from them in the ways I think and live. So this is basically Lao Tzu speaking about himself. He's making a statement, and he wants to explain why he thinks in different ways than most people do. And that's the essence of chapter 20. In that first section, the whole idea about attachments to good and evil also applies to the sentence about being attached about the opinions of others. Because whether it is the good opinion or bad opinion, whether it's critical remarks or praise, people tend to get very hung up on that. So Lao Tzu is basically saying that, well, this is one of the ways that I am different from them. I am not attached to those concepts. And there are also other ways that I am very different from the way they think and the way they conduct their lives. And the following sections will talk about that in detail. So this takes us into the second section. People love noise and excitement. They are always chasing after pleasures and sensory stimulations. They stuff themselves at the banquet. They want to see the sights and seek the thrills. Compared to them, I am more like an infant in that my needs are basic. I am tired of all the meaningless socializing and prefer quiet time alone. They all have so much, while I seem to have very little. So, of course, I appear to be an ignorant fool from their perspective. So last time, we went through the differences in detail, and we compiled this table comparing and contrasting the way that Lao Tzu was and the way that other people were. And we could see that indeed there were quite a few differences. And when we move that from the context of ancient China to the modern world, we can see how cultivating the Tao, becoming more like the wisdom of Lao Tzu, can also make us really different from the way that most other people are in our lives. So then finally, we get to a third section. This will conclude Lao Tzu's remarks about his differences from other people. So here's the paraphrase that I would like to offer. People go about life being shrewd and calculating, while I prefer not to keep track of scores. They try to scrutinize everything, looking for an advantage, while I prefer to just let it be. I am tranquil, flowing like a current, deep in the ocean. I am free, soaring like the winds, high in the sky. Their goals are on acquisitions and accumulations, while mine are beyond this world. They see me as stubborn and lowly because I am simply too different. I value only the Tao as the nourishing mother of my spirit. Okay, so there you go. That's the paraphrase for 20. And I think it does help a lot to render the ancient Chinese and even the English translation into more of a paragraph expressing the true essence of what Lao Tzu was trying to talk about. It can be quite difficult to understand without the help of these translations and paraphrase and explanations, commentaries and notes to bring in some of that cultural context from ancient times to help us understand. Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Let us travel safely. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.